Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday from a pouring rain, pitch black Tennessee. It's going to rain all day, all week. So that's fine. The gardens need water before planting. Okay, so first thing I want to start with is last night. For those of you who did not make the live stream, which this is the reason I did this one as a need not be present to win, Norman Chapman of Connecticut was the winner of the EcoFlow Delta 1300. So, Norman, if you will send me your address, email it to me. Email's below all the videos. It's pinballpreparedness at protonmail.com. As soon as I get that, I will make all the arrangements to get this thing shipped to you. Please get it to me by Friday. If I do not have it by Friday, I'm going to redraw another winner. So it gives you 72 hours pretty much to get me an email address. And you said you watched my videos or at least listened to them every morning and every afternoon. So I'm hoping that'll be probably 6 videos that you'll have a chance to go through. So Norman Chapman up in Connecticut, send me your address. Okay. Second question I had last night, and I talked to Elliot this morning about it. Yeah, I know it's 6:30 in the morning while I'm recording this. It was 6 o'clock, and Elliot was already at work. Uh, what he had said is Wellbots they have not sold out, so there's no waiting list to get the generator if you want it. But he said they are getting close. A lot of people took advantage of this. So if you want one of these right now, get it while you can. Best I'm saying. Okay. I don't know how long the discount code's going to work, and once they're out, they're out. So I don't control the company. I'm just answering your question. All right. So let's get into what's pressing this morning. We've talked about everybody knows what's going on in Ukraine and everything. So now we're starting to see the response and the sanctions that the EU is putting on Russia, the sanctions that the UK is putting on Russia, the sanctions that the US is putting on Russia. It's going to hurt the Russian people for sure. It's also going to hurt you and me because, as I've said many times, the major export of Russia, basically their whole economy, is based on petroleum. And so whatever we get in the way of oil, whatever we get in the way of natural gas, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, a lot of that comes from Russia. So now the sanctions that everybody's pretty much doing are financial, of course, freezing their sovereign debt. It is freezing bank accounts of some of their uber wealthy people, yada, 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 stuff like this. But the big one that's going to affect all of us is the petroleum. Okay. And I've said many times that Russia's the number 3 exporter of oil to the United States. Now, remember what I told you once before, too, a few weeks ago. Mexico has said this year they're cutting their exports of oil in half, and next year they're exporting none. Okay. So we start losing the Mexican oil and we start losing the Russian oil. Okay. Thank God Canada, at least right now, is still an ally, but who knows what Trudeau does. Okay. So we start losing that. Don't anybody tell me about Venezuela. Okay. So as you can see, this is all shrinking around the United States. And I know some people say, you always talk about the United States. I live here. Okay. I'm going to talk about what affects me and the 90% of the people that watch this channel more than I'm going to talk about how the sanctions affect somebody in Sri Lanka. All right. So, if you want to figure out how it works there, you do the research. But so this is what we get. And it's no secret that the oil prices, gas prices, heating oil, whatever is going to go up. And remember, you're also talking about your electricity bills because natural gas is something that the utilities use to generate electricity too, let alone heat, or whatever you've got, your gas stove, your water heater, things like that. So, pay attention. It's not just what you're putting in the car. Now, even the potato in chief acknowledged this yesterday in his speech that, he was talking about the sanctions, and quote, he says, defending freedom will have costs for us as well and here at home. I want to limit the pain the American people are feeling at the gas pump. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you this right off the get-go. Ukraine isn't exactly what you'd call a free country, all right? It's certainly not a democracy, as the MSM likes to parrot. And, so we're not defending freedom. Defending means somebody's attacking us here. And I've said many times, it's not like Ukraine is some uber ally of us. I mean, like I've said over and over and over again, most Americans probably can't even find it on a map. Okay, so it's not like, we're defending freedom. So all we, North America, European people are going to do, we are going to feel the pain in the pocketbook. But Biden wants to limit the pain that American people are feeling at the gas pump. Bullshit. If you did, Joe, you wouldn't have stopped the drilling, stopped the fracking, stopped everything else. Because I want to show you a picture here real quick, okay? This picture is the wholesale prices of gasoline. Now, that little red dot that I put on there, that's the 2020 election. So everything after that little red dot is the effect of Joe Biden's election on the prices of gasoline. This is the wholesale price, okay? This is not what you're paying at the pump, and I'm going to get into that in a second. If you look at that little red dot, wholesale price was $1.06. The wholesale price of gasoline is now $2.80, okay? So for all those of you that think, oh, gee, the oil companies are making a boatload of money, nah, the wholesale price of gas is $2.80. Now, what do we pay? Let's take a look at this map. The colors are flipped. Okay, I'll give you that first. The solid red states politically are solid blue in gas prices, and the solid blue states politically seem to be pretty damn red in the gas prices. And notice the chart on the right-hand side, or the, menu, or I can't think of the word off the top of my head. Gas prices. Well, gee, the West Coast is really as highest prices in the country. Oh, gee, New York, Pennsylvania, most of the upper east, upper northeast, except for New Hampshire, who has a tendency to vote Republican. Interesting. But the traditional Democrat states seem to be paying the most in taxes, or the most in gas prices. And why would that be? Oh, gas taxes. You look on the left, average price of gasoline across the country this morning is $3.53.5. All right. That's up 2 cents from last week and 12 cents from last month. Okay. So thanks, Joe. So you go into a little bit further on this, and what we're expected to see. Now, right now, I saw a video this morning out of Southern California where gas prices at some stations are over $6 a gallon. Great, all right? Crude oil prices. West Texas Intermediate, about $91. Brent oil, about $93. That's going over 100, guys. Face it, gas prices are going up. So what has happened here with the politicians? We all know that they are going to the Democrats are going to get their ass handed to them in November, okay? I mean, that's no secret, anything like that. Doesn't take a rocket science to figure out. Your 6-year-old can probably tell you about that. So all of a sudden, the Democrats have now become the party of tax cuts. We need to have a gas tax moratorium. All right, let's take a look at going from wholesale prices to retail prices. California charges something like 53.5 cents a gallon in taxes. They're the highest highest taxed state in gasoline. Okay. But so they want to do a moratorium on taxes in some of these states. And so if you do the numbers on this is how it's really going to affect you. Now, the average person fills their gas tank once a week. If all the states combined eliminated the federal gas tax, period, the average person who drives a car would save $2 a week. If you're on a minivan or a crossover, $3. Big SUV or a big pickup, $5. Okay. Where gas prices are, like I was saying on the live stream last night, my truck takes 33 gallons of gas. All right. So if we do that times $4 a gallon, which inevitably we're getting to this year, that means $132. Gee, Joe, you know what? The difference between $127 and $132 ain't going to make a whole lot of difference in my truck, period. Now, let's talk about the people who drive for a living, okay? Any repair guy, for example, you can't go to his store, my water heater's broken. Okay, sure, bring your water heater into my house or into my store and I'll fix it for you. No, they got to come out. So they're driving all over the place. Guess what? Those prices are passed on to you. That guy who's driving his truck around and paying $127 a week to, fill his truck, which is probably a lot more, is passing those costs on to you. This is what happens. So when you're looking at gasoline, guys, if you can store some, do it. All right, we're coming into springtime. For the most part, it's getting close to time to put away the snowblower and get out the lawnmower. Do those sorts of things. Somebody asked on the live stream how to store gasoline. Guys, if you can find them, gas cans, the red plastic gas cans. I mean, you get jerry cans, but jerry cans will cost you $50 a pop or something like that. They ain't cheap. But even the red plastic ones, a 5-gallon can will cost you 20 some odd dollars at this point. If you can store gas, do it, but do it safely. Somebody asked on a live stream last night how to do that. Your issue with storing gasoline is the vapors. Do not store it into a tightly closed area. All right, put it in your garage where it's well ventilated. Put it into your shed where it's well ventilated. Obviously, don't put it near the furnace or the water heater or something like that, nowhere there's a flame. But you should be fine doing that. Just don't put it into a cabinet with a tightly enclosed space where all those vapors can concentrate. But we're going to see higher gas prices, guys. There's no doubt about it. And if you can put some away, for an SHTF situation, again, like I said, if you can get 4 or 5-gallon gas cans and put 20 gallons of gas, 25 gallons of gas away, rotate it, use it in the lawnmower, use it in the weed whacker, or whatever you use it for, that's fine. But the whole point of having it is just in case something really bad happens and you've got a boogaloo. All right. I always tell you guys, try to keep as much as you can full tank of gas in the car. Never let it go below a half. But at that point, what you want to do, throw those gas cans in the car, and that will let you get further. Okay. Watch any movie, any Armageddon type movie, and what do you have? Cars all over the place where people ran out of gas. If you've got to get somewhere, even if you don't have a bug out location, right? Something happens on the East Coast and you've got to drive 1,000 miles. Most cars will get somewhere between 400 and 500 miles to a tank. Okay. If you've got to go 1,000 miles, you need 2 tanks of gas. The gas stations ain't going to be open, guys. So the only way you're going to do it is have it on you. If you need to get inland, let's say you live on the coast, on the East Coast, and something happens and you want to get to me. As far as I am in East Tennessee, not exactly super far if you're on the East Coast. It's going to take you 2 tanks of gas to get that far inland. Make sure you got that put back, okay? Rotate it. Use it, like I said, every 6 months. Fill up the car with that, go get fresh gas. Use it in the lawnmower, use it in whatever, your chainsaw, whatever. But guys, with what's going on right now with Russia and the sanctions and everything like that, and with Mexico, gas is going to get a lot more expensive. Prepare for that, budget for that, see if you can figure out how to cut down your driving as best you can. All right, if you're going to go into town, do all the trips on one-time town. You know, the days of, honey, I'm running to the store to get a gallon of milk and burn a gallon of gas for that. You know, congratulations, you just spent $3 on a gallon of gas and a gallon of milk and $5 on the gallon of gas to get it. You now have an $8 gallon of milk. Okay, so we'll pay attention to what's going on, but that's kind of the biggest part of what's going on with the sanctions and how it's going to directly affect us. So stay prepared, guys. Pinball out.